Family, welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. We got a pregame in the building. It's game day. You guys already know what that means. That means we're holding it down before the game. Live conversation with me and everyone else who decides to join in. We'll be breaking down our thoughts, expectations about the game, all that, and some more. Got some Smear 6. Shout out to Smear 60, by the way, who damn near scared the hell out of me in the Discord server, talking about Williams being out with an injury. And it's not even our Williams. It's the Celtics Williams. So yeah, man. Yeah, he scared us a little bit. But yeah, so we're gonna get into the live pregame show. We're gonna get into all that right after this intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
And as we come back, my dog decides to bark because he's an idiot. But nonetheless, we're here, live pregame. What it do? Trim Baker's in the building. First comment up. What up, Haize? Do you think we win today? Listen, we've matched up very well against the New York Knicks. Patrick Williams is back. I think that we have enough. I want to know how they're going to combat the size and the rebounding of the New York Knicks. But with all that being said, I think that we have enough. The Bulls just need to be locked in. And that's all it boils down to. We need the Bulls to be locked in this game, and for every game from now into the preseason and through the postseason as well. So let's go ahead and get into that one. NBA breakdown. Hey, this is my first time seeing you around here, unless you just change your name. But what's going on, brother? If you got your own YouTube channel or podcast, put the link in the description. I want to support, check you out. So there you go. Anybody who has any type of thing they do creative, make sure you guys put it in the description. So not only me, but then our other listeners and viewers can also support you as well. We're a family here. Smear 60. Man, listen, Smear 60 damn near killed. My heart dropped. So in our Discord server, Smear 60 just put in there that Williams was out 6 to 8 weeks, and my heart dropped. But he was talking about the Celtics, man. You all good, brother. You good, fam. Josiah, what's going on, brother? K Mitch 41 says new intro is fire. I appreciate that. I got some late night inspiration to do that. I think it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning when I did it. And I was about to go to bed. And literally the inspiration came to me. But I'm one of those people who, when I get inspired by something, I have to do it right then. Otherwise, it won't be the same that I have the vision in my head. So I had to do it then. Yeah, hold on. Shut up. But yeah, so that's what it is. NBA Breakdown says, will Pat start today? I hope so, man. I really hope so. Shay, defending the dog, leave the dog alone. Don't call him out his name. His name's dog or man's best friend. No, his name's a son of a bitch. That's what his name is. Trim Baker in the building. That intro is nice. Also, I hope Pat is starting today. I think everybody feels that way with you. What's up, Jesus? By the way, you my dog. Hey, you already know. I think you meant Haize or you meant Josiah. Did you talk to Josiah? But either way, you already know. We all family here. Tonight, Tatum, JB, Horford, and obviously Williams are out for the Celtics-Raptors game, with the news breaking it's possible the standings will... Oh, the standings are changing. Like, the standings that they are right now on Monday, I guarantee you are going to be completely different by Friday. God forbid Saturday and Sunday. The Eastern Conference standings are one of the craziest things to watch right now. Let's end the minutes restriction his minutes restriction is supposed to be 26 minutes. We've yet to see him crack that 26 minutes. That is more than enough minutes, right? Even if he is starting, if he has a 26-minute restriction, that's more than enough for him to make an impact, I think. So let's hope that he's able to do so. What up, Haize? I hear your dog is hyped for the game. Listen, this dog is fucking crazy. He's half husky, half German shepherd. He's crazy as shit. Like, literally, I've owned dogs my whole life. He's literally the craziest dog I've ever owned. He has these times where he randomly just will go off. So the way that Godzilla was in Godzilla versus Kong, how any other big creature, he just has to beat their ass. Any other four-legged creature, Simba just got to beat their ass. Like, literally. It's ridiculous. The motherfucker's crazy. NBA, no, there's Zoe news. I've been looking for it. I haven't really been able to check the news wire the last hour or two. So somebody hit me on the Zoe news. What happened with Zoe? What happened with Zoe? What's good, Haize? The Chi-Town versus them chopped cheese Knicks. Can we get it? Chopped cheese is by far the craziest shit. The fact that it's literally just a chopped cheeseburger on a different type of bun lets you know how crazy New Yorkers are, by the way, and they ain't got shit on the Philly steak and cheese. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. We need to give that Will Smith smack up to New York tonight. Man, listen, the Will Smith memes today are crazy as hell. Crazy. It's wild. It's wild. Let's see. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any news on Lonzo, at least on the sites that I usually check. Oh, here we go. Lonzo's been lifting, doing low impact stuff. Biggest question is how he responds to being ramped up. All right. They'll evaluate him between the 7 and 10 day mark. Okay. That's good news. That's what we needed to see. How can Kobe become more of a consistent offensive player? The streak of performances won't work come playoffs. Listen, some players are just that. It may come with it. Kobe's only 22 years old. So as the game slows down to him, he'll probably get more consistent. I'll tell you what, and I'll say this, there is a chance the Bulls don't keep him in the offseason. Let me be clear with that. But if they don't keep him, be prepared. The same people that are saying we should have traded Kobe this offseason are going to be like, man, you remember when they traded Kobe White? Wouldn't it be nice to have Kobe White now? Because I'm telling you, as Kobe progresses, if he gets consistent, Kobe's going to be a perennial 6th man of the year. Just watch. Yo, Haize, did you see the fact that the Brooklyn Nets are in the 9th seed? So think about it for a second. If they lose, yeah, I talked about it. See, this is how you know you don't watch my pre-recorded videos. I literally talked about that. It was the first topic on my pre-recorded video today that I dropped at 11 o'clock this morning. Shay, come on, man. You can't only watch the live streams. I know the live streams are lit, but you got to watch more than the live stream. I'm throwing. So I did talk about it on my pre-recorded video, but I'm just talking some shit to you. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to beat the dog and the kid. Like, the CPS, come get their asses, because if you don't, let me stop. I'm just joking. Please don't don't click off the live stream. I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking shit. Let's see. NBA breakdown. I don't know if you covered this lately. That would you rather us face yeah, I've talked about it. Out of those teams, right? The Heat, the Sixers, and the Bucks are the ones that scare me the most. I'm not worried about the Celtics. I'm not. I know they're the number one. I know they're playing amazing basketball. The Celtics don't worry me at all. And that could just be irrational confidence. The Celtics don't worry me at all. Especially if we get Zoe back. Yeah, man. Julie is in the building. Hey, Haize, hoping the Bulls get a dub today. Yes, they need to get a dub. They definitely need to get a dub. Just joking. Yeah, no. Listen, I don't want CPS knocking at my door. If you were my father, I would be scared of you. You look like you could. I fight. I don't fight my kids. Like, honestly, all jokes aside, I have very good kids. I have probably only ever had to physically discipline my children, all the 4 of them, like a total of 2 times between the 4 of them, because they really just listen to me. I raise my voice, but that's about all I have to do. Donovan, Lonzo really wants to come back and play. He wants to do everything possible. This encouraging part is Lonzo is really driving this. Listen, I'm telling you, Lonzo, he knows he wants to get that playoff thing off his back too. He wants to get the injury thing. And I think also, if you looked at Lonzo was just I didn't watch very many Pelicans games, so I saw some. But Lonzo was having fun with this. When this team was closest to fully healthy as they were, Lonzo Ball just looked like he was having fun playing basketball. And I think when you look at Lonzo's career, right, coming to the Lakers, the shadow of Kobe being their rookie year, like all that type of stuff, all the pressure, I don't think Lonzo just got to have fun playing basketball. Then he goes to the Pelicans. They weren't using him correctly. I don't know if he just got to have fun there outside of maybe that first season there. Lonzo Ball just having fun with this team, enjoying this group of players, getting out in transition, what he was able to do. I really do think Lonzo really does love being on this team and playing with these guys. So he's trying to get back to the team, and it makes sense. Da Bulls in the building says, "Hey, Haize, what's up with the game against the New York? Scares me because of the Knicks 3-point shooting. The Bulls struggle against 3-point shooting teams. listen, don't let it scare you. Look at the Bulls have played the Knicks very well this season. And we have Patrick Williams back, things like that. We also have Tristan, in which we didn't have when we played them before. I'm not really worried. I wouldn't say be scared. I wouldn't be scared of it. You play with Kobe, you play with Braun, LOL. Oh, shit. Yeah. D. Russ and Randall play with them. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Lonzo came after that. You're absolutely right. My bad. But yeah, still, I don't think Lonzo had fun like he has on this Bulls team. Definitely don't think he had fun like he's had. Like I've seen, like Lonzo was having fun out there. And I think sometimes you want to win first, right? You always want to win. Wins come first, playing well comes first, all that. But then if you can do all those things, and they were the top of the East at that time, and you're having fun, you're doing your thing, and the Bulls still can use Lonzo very much better than they have been. Let me be clear on that. They very well can. They can unlock more of Lonzo's game. But having fun out there, I think, is such something that we overlook sometimes, even as spectators. Listen, look out for Quigley to have a big game against us, right? It's always the people you don't expect. It's always the people you don't expect. MJG23 says, man, my work schedule lately sucks. I hate coming in late to these shows. How's everyone doing? You're really not that late, man, but I definitely appreciate that. We doing good in here, brother. We doing good. Got a positive update about Lonzo, so we're doing all right. Jay Laura in the building. Haize, how you doing, man? Can we get your take on the Listen, this is my take. All right, I'll it's a pregame, so I'll talk about it. There's been way worse things said to people from a host of a award show. And so the thing to me that lets me, Will was laughing about it at first. Now, if your wife did get offended about it, and even if she did say, hey, I need you to go handle that, you handle that afterwards. To me, walking up on the stage, smacking him in front of millions of people watching it, it was not the time to do that. Chris Rock should have been handled. If your wife tells you to handle something, you handle a motherfucker. But I think it should have been done outside of the actual award. So he shouldn't have walked up on, or even when Will Smith got his award later in that night, if he wanted to say, yeah, Kristen, I got something, I'm going to say something to you about what you said to my wife, all that's fine. But to get up there, open hand smack that man, to me, it wasn't a good look. It should have been handled after the show. And even with that being said, still, there's been way worse. Do you remember after Charlie Sheen announced that he had AIDS? Go back and look at the award shows there. I can't remember who it was. They went in on Charlie Sheen. And that is a actual life-threatening disease. Alopecia? Come on, man. Everybody grandma got alopecia. Like, you offended that your wife got alopecia and he made a joke, a G.I. Jane joke? Come on, man. Come on. These damn dogs. Let's go. NBA Breakdown says 100% young core all strived after leaving Braun in LA like Randall, Russ. The funny thing is, right, every one of those young players they could damn near use right now. I get, even if you say, hey, get rid of half of them, let's keep the other half. This is why for the people who are like, no, let's trade Kobe, let's trade P. Will, let's get any young player besides Io, because all Bulls fans now love Io. Get rid of him. Do you want to look like the Lakers in a few years? So yeah, you don't want to do that. Pat ain't starting tonight. Man, listen, that's crazy. I just really worry what they're going to do with, hold on, y'all, hold on. All right, I'm back. Had to regulate. I'm back, though. Haize, I already know Dave Chappelle is going to have some fire jokes about the... Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. He says, wait, I'm sorry, I wasn't here. So Zoe, they're ramping Zoe back up. They're going to reevaluate him at the 7 to 10 day mark. Apparently Zoe is really pushing to come back to this team before the playoffs. So by everything, it looks like he's really pushing himself to come back. And it looks like he's not done contact yet, but he's doing lifting and low impact stuff. So it just depends on how he responds to it. If his body responds back to it, then he'll be back sooner rather than later. It's really just a pain thing, right? So Zach Lasagna, what's up? What's going on, brother? What happened? Listen, I said it. I dropped the ball. Listen, I'm so busy lately. Not only we got Chicago Bulls Central, we got Chicago Bears Central popping off, we got Locked On Bulls popping off, and then I have other creative ventures like my photography business. I had a couple of photography gigs over the course of the last week, and you guys have seen how much I stream. Like, I don't miss a game outside of the game that I missed when Ricky had to do it. So my schedule's just been busy, and I did not get the chance to reach back out to Brandy. I did not get a chance to reach out to JT Mack, but we'll get it together. Maybe we'll just save it off and do it the last game of the season, which is against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know what day of the week that's on. Give me a second. Let me take a look at it. So that is on Sunday, April 10th. So that gives enough time for me to touch back with Brandy, get back in touch with J Mack, and Let's try to do it by then. Last game of the season, it'll be nice to have a laid, chill back vibe to finish out the regular season. So we'll try to get it together then. That's when we'll try to do it. Again, I dropped the ball. That's completely on me, nobody else. So I do apologize with that. I've talked about this very heavily. Awesome 29 March. Troy Brown Jr. has a lot of potential. Don't get me wrong. Like, yes, he's played very shitty. But he's 22-year-old. He's lengthy. He can shoot. But it's not on. I don't think it's going to be on this Bulls team. I think the Bulls are going to look to replace him in that spot with a veteran that maybe even costs less, that is more consistent than him. And hopefully he finds a team that has, like, if this was the Bulls team of 3 years ago, Troy Brown Jr. would probably be getting minutes to develop. The Bulls, I don't think they really have time to develop him. You got to look, they're still developing Patrick Williams in many ways. Marcus Simonovic, what happens with him? They have their own first-round pick. Kobe, Ayo, like, they have a lot of young players that have already been ahead of him in the depth chart. They still have to develop in a certain way. So I don't think that Troy Brown Jr.'s future is on this team, but I do think that he has a future as a consistent, if he can get consistent, like a shooter off the bench or something. Because there are games and periods where Troy Brown Jr. puts it together defensively. We've seen him rebound great at certain games. He has several tools. He's not great at any one thing, but maybe a different team can bring it out of him. Rose is, yeah, well, we knew Rose was going to be out. Yeah, Rose there was not a chance of Rose playing in this one. Malachi Grayson, what's up, Haize? Keep all the positive energy. The Bulls will be a deadly contender in the next season or two. Facts. Listen, we've already seen like what this team was able to do at the beginning of the season with missing Patrick Williams, not having reliable offensive rebounding, not having a true big man off the bench, or a good one, because we got a big man in Tony Bradley. He's big, but he's big and dumb. So if they can replace those things, we're looking at a team that easily can improve by just making a couple of more deals and bringing in some players. So we'll see. Paul George may play. Paul George coming back. Listen, if you're in the Western Conference, you're looking at that like, damn, man. But I don't know where do the Clippers currently sit in the standings. I really haven't been paying much attention to the Western Conference standings as much as I do the East. They are 8th right now. So yeah, they could definitely be dangerous going into the playoffs. Jesse James says, yo, what's going on, Jesse? What's up, my brother? With the Red Fox. Avi, I see you. Zach Lasagna. Pistons confirmed that Grant is out the rest of the season. Listen, you guys know it's highly detailed how I feel about Jeremy Grant. I'm so glad the Bulls did not trade for him. We don't want Jeremy Grant. Period. The Bulls should just look at every game going forward as a playoff game. The games left in the regular season are most important as playoff games, considering how tight the East. Yes, we're seeing drastic changes night to night in the standings. So you're right, and I've said that too before, not even to toot my own horn, because I think everybody's seeing that and saying that, right? I'm not breaking any ground on that or anything. But yeah, and then you look at how we finished. We finished off against our Bulls' last 5 games: Miami, Milwaukee, Boston, Charlotte, and Minnesota, all playoff teams. So you that's the last 5 games. We got 3. We need to use these next 3 games as a tune-up because it's not getting any easier. We end the season crazy. So yeah. I wouldn't say the biggest. To me, the biggest game of the season, biggest 2 games in the season are really that Boston game that we have. And, I know Boston's now the number 1 seed in the East, but that can drastically change between now and then. But really, if you look at it, the 3 out of the last 4, Milwaukee, Boston, Charlotte, are highly important for the Chicago Bulls, considering the Eastern Conference standings. You got to remember, too, like when you beat a team that's ahead of you, it's almost like a 2-game difference in the standings, because not only do they lose when you rise for winning, so that can really drastically change. That those games that we have left against Eastern Conference playoff teams can drastically change the way that the Eastern Conference standings look. It's crazy. Do you think we make a trade for the Cat thing? Listen, that's a pie in the sky thing. No, and I don't even see Minnesota trading Cat. I know this is a bad prediction, but I think that Joel Embiid might be gassed by the playoffs because they use him so much. Not to mention this, Embiid's been, for him, has this been one of Embiid's most healthy seasons? It feels like it, right? It just feels like Embiid hasn't been out as much as he has before. Haize, I was hoping that teams might be resting players the last few games, but it ain't listen, it's probably not, because every team is fighting for playoff position and trying to pick the best opponents for them. Yeah, I don't know if teams are going to be resting down the stretch like usual. That would happen usually in the season. I don't know if that happens. Checking Joel Embiid. How many games has Embiid played this season? Let's see. He's played 61 regular season games with about 8 left. So if he doesn't miss any more games, he's going to play 69 games this season. That has to be one of his highest ones. Has to be. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it real quick. So the most games that Embiid has played in his career is 64 games in the 18-19 season. So he is 3 games away from tying the most games he's played in his career with 8 or 9 games left. So yeah, this could be Embiid's most healthy season when it's all said and done. It's crazy. What's good, Haize? PR in the house. Haven't been able to get it on your chat for a minute. Been really busy, but I watch your updates every day to keep me caught up. Keep it coming, bro. Thank you, Jose Sanchez. I appreciate you, brother. Listen, Vooch is probably not being, keep in mind, it's not being traded. So it's not that. Vooch is more than likely not being traded. Coming off his worst season, one of his worst seasons. Yes, he's an expiring contract, and that may, pair it with the first round pick, pair it with a Kobe. If Kobe's really what a team wants, they could do something. But the thing is how many of those teams are going to be trading a big man? When you look at big men who can really give us better than what, keep in mind, people were saying even the Miles Turner does not make us a better team, even if you replace, yes, defensively, but he makes us worse offensively. So I really don't know. Again, but I'll be paying more heavy attention to that when we get towards the offseason. Who knows? Maybe when they reevaluate, Lonzo news will be back, that he is nearly back, and then suddenly he will be that's how they've done it. Look at how it's gone. Derrick Jones Jr. out to questionable to playing the same night. Alex Caruso was going to be reevaluated to probable to playing the same night. Patrick Williams got sit down to the G League. 2 days later, called up, playing 2 days later. So I think when the Bulls use the term reevaluate, it really kind of means that's the return date, but we're not going to lock it in until we see how he looks on that day. So if they're saying they're going to reevaluate Lonzo the 7 to 10 day mark, which would be coming up, I think the 7-day mark would be Thursday this week. I think. I may be wrong on that. So that means we could be having Lonzo Ball by next week, which would mean that hellacious last stretch of games that we have, we could have Lonzo back in some capacity. Don't expect him to come back and immediately be back in the starting lineup, but we could have him back in some capacity then. Haize, looks like nobody wants to be first place in the Eastern Conference. Whoever lands there is only lasts a day. I think there is some people trying to pick their opponents, but listen, you want to try to avoid Boston, right? And the fact that Brooklyn, the fact that Brooklyn is the 10th seed right now, Brooklyn very well could be eliminated in the play-in game, which would be crazy. Would you trade a pick to pick up Miles Bridges this offseason? Woo! Well, we only have a one pick. So if the question that you're asking is if we would trade just the first round pick, and then we'd have to match salaries, right? So you're looking at, unless they want to do a signing trade for Troy Brown Jr. or something like that, but maybe if they take Tony Bradley's contract, which is only partially guaranteed, so a team could cut him and not have to. So what could happen, right? And this is how this is just, keep in mind, GM talk. So the Bulls could technically package their first round pick, package Tony Bradley, send $1 million in cash considerations with him to get Miles Bridges, and then the team, then they would have to cut Tony Bradley because he's only partially guaranteed, but that $1 million that the Bulls sent in cash considerations would offset that, so they really wouldn't spend any money. So essentially, they would get the first round pick for nothing. If it's that type of deal, you do it wholeheartedly. Now, if they want Kobe White, you look at it, you question it. If they want Derrick Jones Jr. in the sign and trade, I do that. Keep in mind, he's an unrestricted free agent too, so he would have to agree to go there. But I'm not shaking my head at that deal. I'm not. I love Bridges. So I think Miles Bridges can be a really good player off the bench. And look, he can start some, especially if we need it. I like that. I like that pickup a lot. Yeah, you're right. See, listen, I be telling y'all, I be knowing, like, my brain, because I didn't even look that up. My brain is, oh, wait, somebody else said that Thursday would be like the 10-day, last week, Monday. Okay. So today is technically 7-day. All right. Do you think that, not in this, I think the bringing up, calling up, that's done for this season. They're not bringing it, maybe in the last game of the season, if the Bulls, let's say the Bulls do win, at that point, it'd be 7 games. Let's say the Bulls win 4 out of the next 7 games. God forbid 5 out of the next 7 games. They may look at that Minnesota game and think, yeah, let's go ahead and sit people. Then maybe they call them up. Miles McKell, listen, I love Miles Bridges, especially like I said, think about it this way. Miles Bridges can then learn some behind DeMar DeRozan in his last 2 years. Keep in mind, if we get Miles Bridges, it could very well be, because Miles Bridges can play the 3, or you can move Patrick back to the 3. We could have a starting lineup of Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Miles Bridges, Patrick Williams, and then whatever, because I don't think Vooch, if Vooch comes back, it'll be on a much cheaper deal by then. But man, I'm not shaking my head. I really do like Miles Bridges, but I like him more as a 6-man. But I'm just saying, if you need him to start, he can definitely do that as well. I'm definitely giving up Kobe for Miles. He's way more consistent than Kobe. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't argue that. He is way more consistent than Kobe. But I think that Kobe's highs are higher than, as far as just pure scoring. But Miles gives you more than that. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I like Kobe a lot. You guys know this. But in a Miles Bridges trade, if it's Kobe and a first for Miles, maybe hopefully we can get a second back, a future second or something. I'm not shaking my head at that deal at all. Just honestly, I'm not shaking my head at that deal at all. Let's see. But when Miles come off the bench, he's been starting most of his career. He has to. They're not going to start him over Patrick Williams. They're not going to start him over DeMar DeRozan. Like this season, keep in mind, Patrick is not starting right now because of him coming back from injury. But if you go into an offseason, I don't think that they start. And I think that even with that being said, you don't need more scoring in your starting lineup, right? Miles is a way more aggressive and a better scorer than Patrick Williams at this point in his career. So because of that, I think you can convince Miles to come with the specific thing of, well, Miles, we need you to do this for the team, but you're still going to get your 25, 28 minutes a game. And then 2 years from now, 2 years from now, when DeMar leaves, that's your spot, Miles. I think you can convince Miles to do that. I think, considering, and he's on a contending team, I think you can convince Miles Bridges to do that. I think. Could be wrong, but I think you can convince Miles Bridges to do that. DeJounte Murray will be a star. I'm not, hey, listen, I'm not fighting against that right now. Not fighting against that. Has this video been demonetized? What did I do? What did I do? Did I say something crazy? If I said something crazy, I really don't even realize that I said it. I really don't. Not this time. I'm usually pretty good at being aware when I say some crazy ass shit. The CPS thing was probably the craziest thing that I've said this time. So maybe it has been demonetized. We'll see. I don't give a damn. I never got into this to be monetized anyway. Like, I never thought that this would happen for me. So that's why, like, if you notice, I don't really trip. I don't ask for super chats. You guys give me super chats at times. I don't ask for super chats because, listen, I got into this to talk about my favorite team. I got into this to build a community. I don't really focus on those things. I feel like, to me, being a viewer, when you see channels that have gone too much into focus on super chats, focus on monetization, focus on everything else, it takes away some of it. That's never going to be me. Just never going to be me. I'll gladly take it. Don't get me wrong, but that's never going to be me. Oh, he said he only asked because he just joined. Yeah. DeJounte will be doing wonders for my FanDuel starting lineups. Hey, there you go. Brian Carter says, right, I must have missed something. Brian, my bad if I did. I need to see Kobe's best Will Smith impression tonight and smack up the Knicks. It could happen. Usually, like, Kobe's good for a 20, 25 point on like 7 of 10 shooting. He's good for that once a week. Now, last couple weeks he hasn't gotten. We got one last week. But we know Kobe can go off. So if we win, do we move? Let me check the standings right now. I don't think we move up. We would have to win. I don't think we do, but let me double check that. Give me 1 second. Come on, motherfucker. I swear my computer only moves slow when I need it not to move slow. And then at that point, it's like, hey, fuck you. So, no, we would not move up to number 4. We are currently right now 3 games behind on number 4. So, no, we would not move up to number 4 if we win tonight. So, there you go. Love for the game and the true fans. Listen, the voice, like that it's funny how that came about. The whole voice of the fans thing, it's something that, it's in the new intro. It's something that I'm going to start taking a little bit more seriously. Is like, I realize, like, the people that come to me and they like talk about things, this channel is a representation of the fans. The channel is the voice of the fans. Now, I'm crazy as shit. I can't be the voice for nobody. Nobody wants me talking for them, because once I go Petty Roosevelt, who wants that representing them? But this channel is definitely the voice of the fans. Where do you think we will end up by the season? 4th. We could get to 4th, but it would have to take one of the other teams to continue dropping and the Bulls to continue. The Bulls, for me, this is just my opinion. We got 8 games left. The Bulls would have to win 6 out of the next 8 to be number 4 when it's all said and done. To me, maybe even more than that. We'll see how hot everybody gets. So I don't think that we can get up to 4th. I think 5th is where we're just going to be at, in my opinion. I hope that we can get up to 4th to get a home court advantage, at least in the first round, because we're a much better home team than road team, but it's looking less and less likely. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Marquis says, do you sell the lights in your background, Haize? I love the custom joint of your name. No. Well, that in the background, surprisingly enough, so I looked at a bunch of places. I have one in red and I have one in blue. I'm building out the Chicago Bears set, so the blue one's going to go over there. But that, surprisingly enough, I ordered from Amazon. So I looked at like there's local places here that to do something similar. Now, the one that I looked at here wouldn't have had that frame around it, which I think is a more cleaner look if it's just the lighting and not that clear frame. But it was like $200-$300. I ordered that motherfucker off Amazon for $85. And then the two lights here, these are Lucero lights. I got those from Amazon too. Those were $45 a piece. So I'm actually here today. I tested positive. Oh, first off, Evan, prayers to you, bro. Hopefully you are as symptom free as possible. And if you do get symptoms, hopefully they pass by quickly, brother. Prayers out to you and your family, anyone else who may have it as well. So prayers to you there. But I'm glad you're here as well. I consider every game from now to the end of the season a must win. Every game. Now, I don't expect them to win every one, but I want to see them play with a must win attitude in every single one of these remaining 8 games. D Grader says, I want Petty to represent me. Listen, man, if that's what you want. With DeMar getting the rest last week, do you think DeMar will be looking to kill this week? I think DeMar's going to be looking to kill regardless. So Brian Carter's in the building. Hey, Haize, when I said right, bro, we were talking about Boston falling to. Oh, okay. All right. My bad. I didn't know. I didn't want to miss anything. Well, Jake, they've already announced the starting lineup. Patrick Williams. Now, I did think tonight would have been the game to start Patrick Williams because of Julius Randle playing. So it's going to be so the Bulls are playing basically 4 guards out there. And Julius Randle. So DeMar's going to be guarding. What the fuck was that? So basically, DeMar is going to be guarding Julius Randle. That's going to be really interesting. Nuber, I've already talked about that, brother. So just for the interest of the live stream, go back and rewind it. I already talked about that, fam. Haize, I love that you can speak your mind on TV. They can't say what they want. They have to be careful. You tell it like it is. And I like it better than Kendall, Will Purdue, and Jay Goff. Listen, they do have their corporate people that they have to, respect and watch out for. I'm me. And I understand it because now that I do Locked On, I had to edit Locked On. I dropped like 2 F-bombs. I had to edit Locked On and cut those out. When they were funny ass jokes too, fam. They were funny ass jokes. But everybody has that. But that's why when I took over Locked On, people were like, how are you still going to do Chicago Bulls Central and have Locked On Bulls? We made it work. You've seen nothing has changed about this channel. And I have to have a platform where I can be 100% me. I can be me on Locked On, but it's a reframed version of me, which you need to do when you go to work, right? That's basically a job for me, a passionate job, but it's still me going to work. When you go to work, you can't go in there cussing motherfuckers out. Here, this is the family. This is the kickback. I'm cussing y'all motherfuckers out when you get to tripping in my comments. So yeah, that's why I have both of them. I enjoy Will Purdue. This not to say Black Dank one that you're wrong. You're not. I mean, hell, that's your perception of him. I enjoy him from the standpoint of this is what I can say about Will Purdue. He's good for a list, like one of those you want to be informed by something and do shit around the house. Like I'll go do stuff around the house, like go finish doing the dishes, prepare for my show, like get the topic list together while listening to Will Purdue because he drops knowledge. He just doesn't have the personality we look for from content creators nowadays. So does that make sense? Marcus says you're a really cool. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. I could be wrong, but don't the Knicks have a lower rating on the transition defense? That could help us with 4 guards. You're right. Now, I wonder how much of that was when Randall wasn't playing, though. But yeah, I think you're correct on that one. But the thing is, to get in transition, you have to rebound. And even in our wins against the Knicks, we haven't rebounded the ball very well. So let's see what happens. Neiman says, I'm here late, and the first thing Haize goes on about is cussing out the fam. Go Bulls. I hope for a big one. Yeah, I do too. All right, but we're going to get ready to wrap up. The game's about to start in a few minutes here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this pregame live stream. I will be back for the halftime hangout. You guys already know what it is, man. Let's go to Harris real quick before we go. I just started watching Haize this year, and I can't watch a Bulls game without dropping in. I've only started this year. I only started in August, right? I've been around less than a year, so you didn't miss very much, man. But I appreciate you. But that's it. We're gonna go ahead and go. I will be back for the halftime hangout. I don't know if I'm gonna be on this set or the red and black set when we come back for halftime, but nonetheless, I will see you motherfuckers there. I love you guys. See red, don't be red. Go Bulls. Let's get a win today. It's game day. I'll see you guys at halftime. Peace, y'all.